I'm telling you, we're going to get our city back. We're going to stand for our people. We're going to get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there.
This Chicago woman just went straight up beast mode on Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm sure everybody knows about a movie, Scarface, right? It's a classic, Al Pacino, right? Everybody knows about that movie. And we focus on the famous lines in that movie. You know, the acting and the hello to my little friend and all that. But it's the beginning of that movie that matters. When those words are coming up on that screen, that's what matters. And those words say, in May 1980, Fidel Castro opened the harbor at Muriel, Cuba, with the apparent intention of letting some of his people join their relatives in the United States. Within 72 hours, 3,000 U.S. boats were headed for Cuba. It soon became evident that Castro was forcing the boat owners to carry back with them not only their relatives, but the dregs of his jails. Of that 125,000 refugees that landed in Florida, an estimated 25,000 had criminal records.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what has happened in the United States right now. All this asylum-seeking lie, all this about refugees, no. What's happening is they're emptying out the dregs of their jails into the United States, into our communities. They're junking up our country. And yeah, we feel some kind of way about it because it's our country.
That's right.
It's our country. People like Vasquez and them, look how disrespectful they are. Now you just gave that man a resolution for his father's restaurant. And every time we get up and talk, he's working this room. Look at him. Look at him. But he wants his resolution for his father to be respected. Vasquez, Lopez, all them want their people to be respected, but they can't even give us the dignity for what we built for them. Ain't no question about it. Yeah, Black History Month, the American descendants of slavery. And I want you to know, Brandon Johnson, I understand what Breakmore's saying about we still on the plantation, but what you're looking at right now, this is what a free Negro look like. And I'm telling you, we're going to get our city back, we're going to stand for our people, we're going to get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there. Anytime they can't give us 3 lousy minutes of their attention while we sit here and watch y'all give them all kind of money, you watch us. We black out here.
All right.
And we gonna handle our business.
Woman.
You watch that.
I'm a
free black woman.
All right.
This is how we get down.
Now that woman right there is what I like to call a patriotic warrior. God bless her soul. I believe her real name is Jessica Jackson, and I agree with 99.99% of everything that she just said. I didn't hear not one single lie. I thought that was gooder than chicken, as we like to say over here. And other than that last part about we black out here and handling business, listen, I know what that usually entails, and we don't need any of our own legal citizens getting locked up. There's other ways and means to go about this, and we need to be law-abiding Americans out here and handle business at the ballot boxes. What we need to do is vote red and stop electing these radical liberal deceivers and expecting a different result than we've been getting for the last 50 years. And that's how we need to get down. People need to stop talking because talk is cheap. When push comes to shove, folks need to stand on and be about what they say. And I think Miss Jackson is legit, and I think she will actually follow through and execute on the changes that she wants to see for her community. She knows that she has to vote different, or she may have been voting Republican all along, but she ain't voting for Brandon Johnson. She ain't voting for J.B. Pretzels and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I can guarantee it. And thank God that she's not the only one. Listen to Kata Truss, another lifelong Chicago resident and former Mayor Brandon Johnson supporter. She actually knows him and said she was wrong. She just didn't do her homework on him. She went on Fox News and unveiled why she'll be voting Republican for the first time this next time around.
We're so angry here in Chicago, which has been a Democratic stronghold for most of its eternity. This year, we're working to turn Chicago red. We are so angry with Pritzker and with President Biden and with our mayor that we have decided that we're going to vote Republican this time around.
Wow.
That's just how angry we are. We are so angry that we are willing and going to turn our backs on the Democratic Party. I sat in some of those city council meetings, and I looked at and I watched the aldermen totally disregard the voices of the people. And when I was going down there, we were coming down every week in the hundreds. And what we said did not matter. And when we were talking about changing Chicago's status as a sanctuary city, and keep in mind, we still have a right to do that. Just like Biden has the right to put forth an executive order to change the crisis at the border, Chicago's mayor has the right to put forth an executive order to change Chicago's sanctuary city.
Will he do it?
Of course he will not do it. If he was going to do it, it would have been done. And remember, there was a vote within City Council where the ordinance to change it was strucken down. And the mayor was the deciding vote.
Okay, so I want to play just a little bit. It's actually a clip from your Democratic mayor, Brandon Johnson, just after that City Council meeting yesterday that got pretty chippy. And at the end of the day, he is the one you are counting on in all of this, as you just said. It's his vote. It's his, in those meetings, it's his voice. It's his leadership that matters. Let's watch.
We're grateful that the state and the county is working towards providing more investments, even though we have to have a more substantive conversation about where those dollars will actually go.
So I just have one question. Chicago had a choice after Lori Lightfoot, who was breaking COVID protocols to go get her hair done and all sorts of things. They didn't have to go farther left with Brandon Johnson. Why did you vote for him?
I voted for Brandon Johnson because I knew him. I voted for Brandon Johnson because I thought that he would be good for Chicago. I voted for Brandon Johnson because really I didn't do my homework. Because had I done my homework and paid attention to the alliances and who he was with and who groomed him, I would have known better, and I would have voted differently. And that brings me to the challenge of really standing up and not just saying to Chicagoans or Illinoisans, but to all voters in this country, it is time for us to stand up and to vote our self-interest. We vote along party lines, especially as African Americans, and that needs to change. We need to start voting for people who are going to promote our self-interest. And that may not be a Democrat, and it may not be a Republican. It may be an independent candidate. It may be a Green Party candidate. But I think that now we have come to a point in this country where we have to stop marrying ourselves to party, stop voting along ethnic lines, because we're seeing that that is not working for us. And so that is why I will be voting Republican for the first time.
Wow, that is a lot. That's a lot of change. And it only took 3 years with one president to undo what you said, a lifetime of Democratic voting in Chicago, at least for you. Does it make a difference if Republicans come to see you this election cycle and talk about this issue on the ground in Chicago?
I think the Republicans need to come and see us. I think they need to come and talk to us because let me just say this, that the Republican Party has not been spotless, and there are certainly some issues that we would love to discuss with them that I think that we can have some common ground on. Okay. I think that we can agree to be disagreeable on some issues, but yes, this is the perfect time for the Republican Party to come into the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, and sit down and talk to the people because we are looking for change.
Carter Truss, God bless you. Thank you so much. You put a lot on a lot of people's minds today.
I don't know about you, but I got nothing but respect for people that own up to their past decisions, own up to the poor choices that they've made, and are transparent about those. Because listen, we've all done things, said things, voted for people that we wish we hadn't of, but it's all about repenting of those, not making those same mistakes again, and making wiser, better decisions moving forward. That's what it's all about. So Kata, I love that. I love that. And I hope that she actually does what she says she's going to do. I pray that everybody that says that they're tired of these same results, these blue states, that they vote different this next time around. That's the only way that we're going to have change. That's the only way that we're going to see new positive results instead of the same tired, just drawn out, open-ended promises time after time by these dirty Democrat officials. And this stuff that we see going on, it's an America problem. It's not a Texas problem, like old JB Pretzel says.
Illinois has spent more than $1 billion of Chicago tax money already on the people who are there. So the Illinois governor thinks he has the answer to it all. He's blaming Texas.
Abbott willfully planned the arrival of these individuals in locations and at times that would engender the maximum chaos for the city of Chicago. Think about that the next time a politician from Texas wants to lecture you about being a good Christian. They shouldn't leave it to the governor of Texas, who has no goal but to sow chaos and destruction.
Texas has been dealing with this crap for years, and now other places like my home state of Illinois, we're just now starting to get a tiny microscopic sized glimpse of what open border policies, how bad those actually are. And no one with a connected brainstem should want any part of that sanctuary city action, because it won't end well. And all of us common sense freedom lovers, we're sick and tired of all this illegal alien chaos. And no one should be allowed to break the law in general, and let alone come into our country and raise hell like these criminals have. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. Beating up our boys in blue out in New York and then getting out like nothing ever happened, flipping the finger at cameras, acting like they run the joint, and out here stealing our hard-earned tax dollars and all of our resources, while these elitist goofballs in the government just sit back and let it happen. And then they just keep printing money to ship across the ocean. It just doesn't add up. And they need to stop funding other people's wars, because we got our own one going on here. It's time to prioritize and take care of our home. You wouldn't leave your doors unlocked at night and let some random Tom, Dick, and Harry come through, eat up all your food, lay hands on your loved ones, smuggle in drugs and violence. And at least I hope you wouldn't. It's not happening up in the Gibson compound. I can promise you that. Not without them finding out what that Second Amendment is all about. The Bible defends my right to self-defense and to protect my loved ones. And I will not hesitate to send a wicked alien to meet their maker. I can promise you that. And I don't want it to have to come to that. So why in the world is our government allowing those same things that you and I wouldn't let fly in our homes? They're letting that happen, but on a much larger scale with states and cities. I know why. It's because they want to stack up new voters and keep their positions of power. They think that by letting this wide open free for all chaos happen with illegal aliens, they think that those people that enter are going to be grateful to them and vote for them. And all they care about is holding their positions. That's all that they care about. Just greed, power, complete dirty slime ball stuff. It's ridiculous. That's the real agenda that they try to masquerade as wanting to help these poor immigrants. But they know that these people aren't asylum seekers and they don't care. And that's why it starts with us at home, who we vote for. As someone who's lived in Illinois pretty much all my life, hours south of Chicago, as I've stated many, many times before, we have to get people like JB Pretzels and Mayor Brandon Johnson up out of there. That's what we got to start with, our home base. And then obviously, of course, we all know that Joe and his entire administration, they need to go. I'm talking big time eviction status. This great nation, we need to get it back. We need to latch on to common sense again, allow the brainstems to connect and function how God intended them to by following the law, sticking to his commandments. That's what's most important. We need to turn to Jesus Christ, repent of our sin, and drop to our knees and humble ourselves in full submission, putting our faith in Jesus Christ. And then while we're here, it's temporary. This isn't the most important, but I'm just going to add it in there. We need to vote Trump in 2024. I'll stop my rant there. I'd love to hear what you guys and gals think about all this. Drop a comment below saying MAGA 2024 if you made it to this point in the video, and let's keep this conversation rolling. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, ring that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here and you want to show a little extra love and support, make sure you go check out our website down below in the description section. That way you can get all the awesome shirts you see me wearing in every single video. They're all made by my beautiful wife. This one says created with a purpose. It has it on the chest and on the sleeve. It's based on Ephesians 2 verse 10. I like mine a little baggy, so it seems a little extra room to move and groove, but we got all different sizes ranging from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty 5X, a bunch of colors, different designs, all of that. I'm sure you can find something that you like or a great gift for someone that you love. Outside of that, you can always join the Gibson family here on YouTube and become a member. You can buy me a coffee. You can join the Patreon family. All those links are down below as well. By no means do you have to do any of that. Just show showing up and allowing my freckle face to rant at you for a few minutes. I am greatly appreciative. I love y'all. I cannot thank you enough. Until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.